How's it going, everybody? This is the Jose Show. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. And as we all know, today is 9/11, which means that 17 years ago today, the Twin Towers over New York crashed, and the people that were fighting for us, when these Twin Towers crashed by these planes, were killed. And these people fought for us, and they tried their very best, and they were making sure that we were safe. So we will never forget this day, 9/11. Alright, now on to another note. A lot has gone on last week, especially on Friday. First of all, Mac Miller is reportedly dead at the age of 26 after going through a drug overdose. He was found unconscious at his home at around noontime on Friday over at Studio City. He wasn't doing good before this happened. He was already doing drugs. He unfortunately relapsed after being sober for a few years. Which is the reason to why Ariana broke up with him. And it is not Ariana's fault as to why Mac Miller died. Unfortunately, many people have been blaming this on her, and unfortunately, some people just don't acknowledge that Mac Miller died because he chose to do drugs. I mean, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but in my personal opinion, when a person relapses and a person isn't doing well, they'll choose to relapse. They'll choose to do what's worse for them instead of recovering for themselves. And Ariana, she was being so supportive of this relationship. It's just that there's a limit to things in life that Ariana just couldn't do anymore with this relationship, so she did what's best for her, which was get out of this toxic relationship. And like Ariana said a few months ago, she's not the babysitter, she's not the mother to be in charge of Mac Miller. He should have taken care of himself, and he should have been responsible for himself instead of going downhill and provoking himself to leading to his death. When I first got the news on Friday, I was in complete shock. I did not believe that this was actually happening. He was a really good person. He was a very talented rapper. I completely acknowledge that. And to me, this news came out of nowhere. It really came out of nowhere. I personally thought that he was seeking help, like Demi Lovato is right now, and I personally thought that he was going to get better, but unfortunately things just got worse for him to the point that he ended up overdosing himself. And another thing that I thought about this news was that it was a lie. I thought it was a death hoax. But once I saw other reports and from other articles saying that he was dead, that's when I started to believe that the news was actually true. That he is actually dead, unfortunately. Many rappers, though, tweeted, and they even dedicated their tweets to Mac, saying that how much Mac inspired them, how much Mac influenced them in life, how much Mac meant to them. Rappers, a lot of rappers like J. Cole, Chance the Rapper, um, many rappers, and even Drake himself posted on Instagram. He went to Instagram saying how much Mac meant to him. I honestly think that the hip-hop industry lost a big one, because like I said, Mac Miller was huge. Mac Miller was definitely someone that a lot of people knew, and a lot of people, of course, loved. And it's really sad to know that someone that's this huge would fall this low. I mean, I would definitely compare this to Demi Lovato, because Demi Lovato was about to go through the same thing with her drug overdose that went on 2 months ago. She was this close in a dying. She was very close in actually passing away. Thank God that she got revived by Narcan. Because if it wasn't for Narcan, which is technically a kind of drug that is used for people that are overdosing themselves so that way they can revive it, their lives can be saved. Well, thank God that she used that, or that her friends were there for her to give her that so she could use it so that way she could revive herself. Because if it wasn't for Narcan, she would have been dead just like Mac Miller is. And that would have been completely, of course, very bad. But thank God that now she's here with us and she's in rehab, she's recovering, she's on her path into getting sober again. Thank God that now she's still here with us. But unfortunately, not all artists are in luck of this, just like Mac Miller was this past Friday when, unfortunately, he died. And so my prayers go out to his family, his friends, and his fans, that I know how heartbroken and devastated they are right now for his death. May Mac Miller rest in peace. Now on to another topic, which isn't really all that much of a happy topic, but it's supposed to be said. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B got into a physical fight over at the Harper's Bazaar Festival this past Friday. Yep, also on Friday, which is crazy. Thank God things didn't get worse, because Nicki Minaj's security guards were interfering with the fight, but Cardi B did get a huge bump in her head. Well, in her forehead. Near her eyebrow. One of her eyebrows. Well, the fight was technically all about Cardi B defending her daughter, Coulter. Because, according to Cardi B, Nicki Minaj said stuff about Cardi's daughter, and I believe the rumors also come to that Nicki Minaj liked a tweet that was speaking a bunch of bad stuff about Cardi's daughter. And that definitely upsetted Cardi. That definitely got Cardi really mad. And to the point that Cardi was literally about to go up to Nicki, but she couldn't, but she yelled at Nicki, and she threw a shoe at Nicki, which I believe was Cardi's shoe, about a bunch of stuff that were just crazy. That, of course, had a lot to do with what Nicki, according to Cardi, did, saying that Nicki was this and Nicki was that, and that Nicki, of course, spoke about her daughter, and it was crazy. It was really, really crazy. But thank God things didn't get worse. Afterwards, Cardi got escorted by the security guards from the festival, or from the event, from the Harper's Bazaar event. And that's how it all went. But it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. And then shortly after the fight, Cardi B addressed the fight on Instagram. She put a huge description, but I could only say a few things. And one of them was that, okay, y'all can talk smack about me or whatever, but when it comes to talking about my child, it is off limits. It is definitely off limits. That's part of what she said on her Instagram page, and I personally think that if the rumors were true, which I'm not even sure if they're true or not, then Cardi has all the right to defend her daughter, because I understand that none of us would like it if anybody else out there, especially anybody that's not even a mom or a dad, were to judge anyone for their parenting skills or judge their own child, because that right there is really wrong. But yesterday, Coin Radio was on instead of today, which Coin Radio was previously scheduled for today, but it ended up getting it ended up on yesterday, because Nicki had to address what happened between her and Cardi over at the event. And Nicki said that she would never speak about anyone's child. She would never speak about anyone's child, and that she thought that the fight was so mortifying and humiliating. And she also said that Cardi B got her success off of payola and then another word that she said that I think I forgot what it was, but one of them was off of payola, according to Nicki. And I mean, I believe that's all what she said, but yeah, that's what Nicki ended up saying, was that she definitely wouldn't speak about anybody's child. And she also said that she doesn't even give a flip about anybody's parenting skills, nor how parents are, nor how their children are at all. She wouldn't give a flip about that at all. So yeah, I mean, if this is true, then, I mean, I have to admit that this fight that went on between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B was just pretty pointless, and it was just pretty much a huge scene that should have never happened, especially in a huge festival like that, in a classy fashion festival. No, I personally think that this should have never happened, and I really hope that things get fixed between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, because this is just sounding like something that's pretty crazy, in my own point of view. So, yeah. That's how things are going, on between Nicki and Cardi. Yeah. Okay, so now on to the next topic. So Ariana Grande, after Mac Miller's death, on Saturday, she got to post a picture of Mac Miller with no caption at all, and now the picture has over 11 million likes, which is crazy. And now there's some people out there that are still judging her, unfortunately, but I mean, it should be all good, really, that she is posting and that she's remembering what she's posting and she's remembering her own ex, at least. I mean, she's at least showing that she actually still cares about Cardi. I mean, about Mac, and that Mac was someone that was a part of her life. Like, she's proving that even though Mac was her ex, she still remembers him, she still loved him, and that she still cared about him. So, yeah. So yeah, that's one thing that I saw on my Instagram page, personally. So yeah. So yeah, a lot of crazy stuff went on this past week, I have to admit. I'm just glad I'm back to tell you guys all of what's going on. Yep. So, the former Disney Channel star, David Henry, got arrested yesterday for carrying a loaded gun to the LAX airport. He was taken to the county jail. And it was reported that he was carrying a double M 9.9 gun, I believe it was, and the gun was loaded, well, of course. And now, as of now, we don't know if David Henry is released or not from jail, or if he's gonna stay there for I don't know how long. But all we know is that he got arrested, and this is the first time that he gets in trouble and that he gets arrested, by the way, which I think is pretty shocking, because he's always seemed like a pretty innocent person to me. He's always seemed like a pretty good person to me. Really. Like, I've never heard anything controversial from him. I've never heard anything bad from him. I've always known that he has done great things, and for me to find out about this is just really shocking. Really. But I mean, I wish the best for David Henry. I hope he gets bailed out, at least, from jail. And that he gets to make better decisions with himself in the future. It's pretty shocking. I mean, I know that we some of us carry guns because we want to defend ourselves. We don't want to harm anyone, and we want to be prepared in case if anybody's doing anything bad to us. But I mean, with our gun laws that we have, I mean, it's crazy. And with all this gun control that we have, I mean, it's really crazy. I mean, we can't do anything, unfortunately. If we're caught with a loaded gun, we could get arrested, especially in an airport. I mean, it's highly understandable as to why, though, David Henry would get arrested, and as to why it's not legal to carry guns, because, I mean, there has been a bunch of shootings going on and a bunch of other crazy stuff going on these days in airports, churches, schools, especially schools, that the only thing the LAX airport wanted was to, you know, be safe. They didn't want any harm to happen there, so they thought it was safe enough to arrest Henry and to possibly prevent him from doing anything bad with the gun, which I highly doubt that he would end up doing such a thing. But my wishes and my luck go out to him. I hope he does get released from jail, because this is crazy. This really is crazy, especially with our gun laws that we have. Because I'm sure if these gun laws were a bit less strict, I believe that this would have never happened to him. Really, because if it was less strict, I'm pretty sure you would be able to carry a gun with you anywhere, but in the intention of defending yourself instead of actually harming someone. I mean, but unfortunately, like I said, it's all about safety, and it's all about preventing any shootings or mass shootings happening. That's how it is. So now on to a brighter note, and on to a pretty interesting note. Kim Kardashian just revealed the cover art of her new fragrance, and it's a picture of her nude, with flowers covering her breasts and covering her bottom part. And in my personal idea, I feel like she looks good. I feel like she looks good in that image. I'm glad that she's covering herself. That's a good thing. But I mean, it's good that she's showing off her body. She's showing off her own self. I mean, she's not trying to cover too much and making herself, you know, making other females look like they should cover themselves up too, because, you know, it's this and that, because unfortunately there's a lot of sexist stuff going on these days with females and males, what females can't do and what males can't do, or what males can do and what females can't do, which is, yeah, wrong. And I just feel like in this cover art that Kim Kardashian is showing is that she is trying to prevent sexism with not only brands but also with cover arts, by showing off her body and giving out a message that it is okay for a woman to show off their bodies and to not be labeled as sexual or a slut, because unfortunately that's what a lot of people label women as these days when it comes to posing in the nude or doing anything in the nude in general. And with Kim Kardashian doing this, I think it's giving out such a great message, and it's also trying to encourage other women to do the same, so that way they could have the confidence of actually posing and showing off, you know, whenever, wherever. But like I said, there's of course a limit to things in life. You know, Yeah, I get that, but I mean, she looks good in the cover. She really does. Her body looks wonderful, as usual. And then the flowers actually fit her too, by the way. The flowers actually look really good, and it actually fits the fragrance, because I believe this new fragrance is all about, you know, the flowery scent. Especially because it's a girl scent. So, I think that's actually pretty cool that she is doing this, and pretty interesting at the same time to see Kim Kardashian, with flowers all over her body, well, in some parts of her body. It's pretty interesting, pretty nice, really. Well, and, well, now let's get on to another topic. Well, anyway, these days have been so hot. It's like it's almost fall, and yeah, it's still crazily hot out here. And well, there are a few tips that I could give you guys, so you guys could actually prevent yourselves from sunburning, and also not exercising in general, because the heat is what actually loses your motivation into exercising. So my tip number one for you guys is to drink a lot of water, of course, and of course wear some sunscreen. But other than those things, I would highly suggest you guys carry yourselves a spray, one of those fan sprays that come with water, and it comes with a fan blowing at you, so that way you guys could end up feeling cool throughout your exercise, or throughout your walks that you guys would have throughout these hot days. And then another thing that I would recommend you guys to do is have a tiny umbrella over your head. A tiny umbrella to keep yourselves cool, and to keep yourselves fresh. But an umbrella that actually works, and an umbrella that actually will cover your head, because unfortunately I'm sure there's a lot of umbrellas out there that don't do much, unfortunately, because they're filled with holes, or either that, or they're just too small. And then another thing, and this is in terms of wardrobe, is for you guys to not wear no damn leggings while you guys are exercising in this weather, because leggings are very hot for your body. They really, really are. They will make you sweat more than you are, and make you feel uncomfortable. I would recommend you guys wear some short shorts, not too short either, but you know, short enough to the point that it'll cool your legs off, but not show intimate areas either, y'all. And then wear something very loose, very loose, but not too loose. Like a loose shirt would be fine. Not a t-shirt, because that'll cover your chest area and your shoulders. And we want like a loose t-shirt, like something that's thin enough to actually get air inside onto your body and stuff like that. You know, to cool yourself off, to make you feel rejuvenated, to make you feel like you are getting air, so that way you won't end up getting dehydrated nor get hot. Well, anyway, that was my last topic for the day, for today's show. Just making sure you guys are safe out there, and making sure you guys are prepared for the weather that's been going on these days. Until next time, this was the Jose Show.